UFC 281. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Main event, Israel Adesanya defends his belt against former foe Alex Pereira. We have excellent fights throughout this card. I cannot wait to talk about each of the matchups after seeing the fighters on the scales. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. And let's jump into the first fight of the night. Light heavyweight division, Carlos Ulberg, Nikolai Negumereanu. I have been on the Carlos Ulberg side all week long. The scales, I didn't anticipate to have much of an effect on the pick here, and I'll kind of hint to you guys, they did not. Nikolai Negumereanu, though, I will note, he looks in good shape. You see some ab development there. He's fairly lean. He's a good pressure boxer. He also has a bit of wrestling in the back pocket. Wouldn't call him a tremendous wrestler, though. And opposite side of him is Carlos Ulberg, who's an extremely good technical kickboxer, city kickboxing guy. I think he's going to shine in this fight. I think this is the greatest moment for him here. And I feel like you look at the early fight, even against Kenley and Zecich, who he lost, he looked incredible early on, gassed himself out later. If he is able to bring a controlled pace, which I anticipate he definitely does, I think he beats Negumereanu by knockout. I think a counter shot at some point throughout the fight, second or third round KO is kind of what I'm feeling for a Mystic Mac call, but I am all over the side of Carlos Ulberg. I like him to win a lot here, and I think it's a quality bet value-wise. Minus 125, the best value for Carlos Ulberg. Negumereanu at plus 125. If you were to prop it up and you were looking for that KO prop, I'll bring that one up right here. KO, Carlos Ulberg, upwards of plus 250. Even low side would be about plus 180. Let's go. Carlos Ulberg, I think, starts city kickboxing off with a W. And I think he shines in this fight, man. He's an incredible kickboxer, and he's finding his flow in MMA. 6-1. He's getting better with each fight, and I think you're going to see this kid make some quality leaps and bounds each time out. Ulberg for the win, and I'm going to say it's pretty impressive. Next fight on the card, Julio Arce and Montel Jackson. I have been on Montel Jackson all week. I do think the wrestling is a difference maker. Both guys southpaws. Also, Jackson's pretty damn quick. His nickname is Quick, and he lives up to it. He's got a lot of speed. I think he's a better wrestler than Arce. And Arce, good kickboxer, especially off the back foot. But note something about Julio Arce. Doesn't have tremendous power. I think Montel Jackson's going to be too much for him, and I'm picking Montel to win. We'll look at the scales on this one. There is Montel, who came in looking lean, ripped, and ready to go. There is Arce, who looks incredible too. The scales are not a crazy factor here. There was no issues with the weight-making side for either one of them. On point, I think Montel Jackson shines. He wins a unanimous decision over Julio Arce. As far as the betting odds for this matchup, Arce is dog money, around plus 175 best value. Montel around that minus 205 range. I'm riding with Montel Jackson to get himself a unanimous decision win. Over 2.5 at minus 170. Not a terrible idea. And then if you are maybe looking at doing the prop for decision, I don't love it. It's plus 175, but I think Jackson winning by decision is extremely likely. So we'll ride with Montel Jackson to get it done on the scorecards here to start the night off. Let's keep running up. UFC 281's bringing the heat, guys. I'm stoked. Mike Trizano, Seung Choi. We will note it. Mike Trizano was the pick throughout the week as an underdog too. He did miss weight, came in at 147.6. A little bit concerning. Choi looked very good on the scales. We'll pull up Choi there. He looks ripped, ready to go, on weight, intense look in his eyes. Mike Trizano, you see he had the box there. He stripped down. He still was off weight. And then he looks, a little dejected. But I don't think he looks as sucked out as you've seen fighters before that have missed weight. He doesn't look like a dead man on the scale. He just seemed to miss the weight, maybe a miscalculation. It's concerning a bit, but I do believe he still has a legitimate chance to win. I don't think having a pound and a half is going to be a huge advantage for him. I think it's a damn close fight. I think Mike Trizano's left hook is a big factor here. Him not cutting that extra pound and a half, though, I guess hypothetically could mean slightly more durability, maybe a little later cardio. I'm going to pick Mike Trizano to get the upset still. And I think there's a possibility to pick going the KO side. Trizano, he's upwards of that plus 145 range as an underdog. Seung Choi around minus 175. Trizano by KO prop, about plus 1,000. I don't mind that Trizano by KO plus 1,000. Choi was stunned against Culebao. Trizano hurt Lucas Almeida before getting knocked out. I think it's a damn good fight. I think action-packed striking here. I say Trizano with an upset. And watch for the lead hook of Mike Trizano. Next fight. The ladies going at it. Karolina Kowalkiewicz and Silvana Gomez Juárez. I have been riding with Kowalkiewicz throughout the week. The submission skill set over the boxing ability of Silvana Gomez Juárez. We're going to find out. Gomez Juárez looks lean, ready to go. She looks in good shape here. Kowalkiewicz just doesn't look as physically impressive. You know, I could see Silvana Gomez Juárez chinning her because I think Kowalkiewicz is a bit past the prime. But if it goes to the floor, there is a huge gap in the abilities of jiu-jitsu, which have made me pick Kowalkiewicz throughout the week by submission. The odds are even here, minus 110, minus 110. It's pick'ems. If you're looking to prop things up, I think obviously you're in risk territory, you know, betting a women's fight to go under 2.5. It's plus 113. Do you go Kowalkiewicz by sub? That is wide. It's upwards of plus 750. Wow. And then Gomez Juárez by KO, which I think is a fairly likely method of victory for, is plus 300. I like Kowalkiewicz to win by sub. She's definitely a concerning pick. Not one of my most confident ones of the week. But I do think she can get it done if she can get it to the floor. Maybe a live betting situation. If Kowalkiewicz is looking for takedowns and Gomez Juárez is consistently stopping them, maybe you live bet the line of Gomez Juárez because she is definitely the more dangerous striker. Silvana Gomez Juárez to get it done. And I do really believe that, Silvana Gomez Juárez to get it done. Kowalkiewicz to get it done. But that's a bad sign that I just accidentally said that. So, yeah, stay off the betting side unless you go on the live line. That is my opinion on this matchup. Next one, it's going to be Ottman Azaitar versus Matt Frevola, the steamroller. I think Azaitar starches him in a round or two. He's got clean boxing, crisp punching style, good tight hooks. He's been the pick all week. Frevola, a fun fighter, a really entertaining guy to watch, will bang too. A little bit wider with his shots, and I think he could get caught here. Azaitar looks jacked and shredded and ready to go. And you know what? His opponent doesn't look too bad either. I think Azaitar hurts him on the feet. He's been out for how long now? 2 years? And the win against Kama Worthy is not one that, carries a ton of weight at this point. Ultimately, I think that you're going to see Ottman Azaitar touch that chin of Frevola, who's going to be willing to engage in a bit of a brawl, and he will knock him unconscious in an action-packed fight. Ottman Azaitar, he's sitting at around minus 117. We got close money. It's near pick'ems. Frevola plus 135, best value. I am on Azaitar. Money line, I think, is a quality attack. He's definitely something to watch out for. When we talk parlays at the end, we'll bring him up again. Under 2.5, minus 180, pretty possible. Azaitar knockout, plus 140. It's not crazy wide, but I still like the prop. I think maybe you could even bet down money line Ottman Azaitar and you touch slightly that KO prop because I really am confident he gets it done by knockout. Azaitar to win. Next fight on the card. Grappling specialist on both sides. Andre Petroski, Wellington, Turman. I'm going to be picking Andre Petroski. I have all week. I don't think the scales change much here. I already looked through the weigh-ins, obviously, but we'll bring up the pictures here, and you guys will agree. Turman, he looks pretty quality as always. He never looks too bad on the scale. Then there is Petroski, who's honestly pretty fucking jacked. I think he's going to have a physical strength advantage. He's got better wrestling. If you put them in the stand-up and force them to fight striking, I think Petroski's got a lot more of a chance to drop Turman than the contrary. I'll pick Petroski to win by submission, and I'm going to call it club and sub. As far as the odds for this one, Petroski in that minus 200 range is the favorite. Turman around plus 170. I like the odds of a Petroski win. Under 2.5, minus 155. Pretty likely, but not a guarantee, right? These guys could end up going longer. I think Petroski money line, is okay. And then Petroski to win by sub, upwards of plus 450. I'm calling club and sub Andre Petroski confidently, man. I don't know. I like that club and sub call. Plus 115. Yeah, I think Petroski's ready to go, man. I think he's going to look pretty good out here. Nothing like jumps out the page when I see Turman as incredible. I know he's got good jiu-jitsu. His stand-up's okay. He's not a wrestler. Petroski should beat him here. Let's keep running up to the next matchup. This is a good ladies fight right here. I'm hyped to see these girls go after it. It's Erin Blanchfield versus Molly McCann. Molly Meatballs. I've been picking Molly Meatballs to shock everyone this week. I think she might get the knockout of Erin Blanchfield. Blanchfield has very good wrestling, but she did struggle a bit with JJ Aldrich. She's only 23. She shouldn't be this big of a favorite, like 4-1. I think Molly Meatballs for the upset. I'm saying she gets it done. There's Molly Meatballs right there, looking ready to go with those McGregor teeth. And then there is Erin Blanchfield on the opposite side. Doesn't look terrible on the scale either. I think that Molly Meatballs has a huge striking advantage. Blanchfield clearly has a wrestling edge, but how is the defense going to be for Meatball? I think the physical strength will be there, and I think the odds are crazy. Molly McCann, plus 320 underdog. That's just not a good tag. That makes no sense. The best value for Blanchfield's minus 350. Yeah, she shouldn't be this wide. 2-1, I wouldn't be complaining too much, but fuck, 3-4-1, like that's kind of disrespectful, man. This is Erin Blanchfieldov at this point. She might as well be from Dagestan. As far as prop betting, if you went McCann by KO, it's upwards actually plus 850. That's wide as hell. I like the money line though, Molly Meatballs. You can also touch that KO prop. Tough fight, obviously. It's competitive, but I think Molly Meatballs can surprise a lot of people this weekend. Yeah, I'm picking her to win. Let's keep running to the next one. Light heavyweights, Dominick Reyes and Ryan Spann. Unfortunately, Ryan Spann did miss weight. We will note it. It's not a huge miss. It's only by 0.6 pounds. The pick has been Dominick Reyes all week. Let's check them out here. Ryan Spann, he had to get the box out. You guys remember with the towel back in the day? And then you remember when Gaethje was weighing in Max Holloway and lifted it up and just exposed him? There's Ryan Spann right there. He's not exposed out here, but he is off weight a little bit, man. And Dominick Reyes looks really good. He's been out for a while. He's lost to the best of the best. Look, John Jones, Jan Blachowicz, Yuri Prohashka. I think Dominick Reyes comes back with a vengeance and wins this fight by TKO in the first or second round here. I'm pretty confident Reyes does it, man. Around minus 220 for Dom Reyes. Ryan Spann around that plus 170 range. I'm picking Dominick Reyes to get the knockout win. KO prop for Reyes, not great. It's around plus 120. I do think he wins, though. He's about 2-1. And I think he's got it here, man. I think he's going to look pretty good. Yeah, I think Dom Reyes comes back with a vengeance. Southpaw, quick hands. Ryan Spann, tough dude. Fun fighter. Been knocked out a good amount. Dropped a good amount. And I think Dominick Reyes adds the win. And this is a good comeback for Reyes. Let's get to the next one, which is actually the featured prelim. Renato Moicano versus Brad Riddell. I'm going to be picking Brad Riddell. I'm not too concerned about the scales in this matchup. Both guys actually look pretty good on the scales. There's Renato Moicano, lean, ready to rock. And then there's Brad Riddell looking veiny as fuck in the ab region. He's shredded out. Listen, Riddell's got a big striking edge. As long as he can stay off of the floor, I think he should look pretty good out here with Moicano. And I mean, there's a chance he knocks him out. I'm going to pick Brad Riddell to win a decision, though. But would I be shocked by KO? No. Do I love the money line attack? It's slight plus money. So you got dog Brad Riddell plus 105. I don't hate it. Renato Moicano around minus 125. Over-unders, personally staying away from. The KO prop for Riddell sitting around plus 340 best value. What's the decision for Riddell at? Plus 400. I think if you are to play this fight, you are on Brad Riddell with me. I think you would go money line, slight plus money bet on Brad Riddell. And I do think he wins this one, man. I think he's going to get it done. Yeah, I think the stand-up difference is going to be clear. And Moicano's not like this beast wrestler. He has good jiu-jitsu. How's he going to get it there? I think Riddell's takedown defense will hold up, and I think he'll shine on the feet. Let's jump to the main card. Guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles. I think Dan Hooker's going to shine in this fight. He's been the pick all week. If he can avoid the jiu-jitsu of Puelles, he will win the fight. He's got better striking, and the wrestling of Claudio Puelles is not a legitimate threat to me. He just is very good off the floor, pretty good at grabbing legs. Dan Hooker, I think, shines. There's Claudio Puelles. And then there's Dan Hooker getting ready to weigh in. And then there he is looking pretty jacked on the scale. I think this is a good matchup for Dan Hooker. I think this is one he can excel in. And I'm actually going to pick him to get the KO. I think not the flying knee, but just the knee in general is a money shot for Dan Hooker that he could land here against Puelles, who kind of has sloppy shots. He doesn't really have a very fast blast double, more of like a dipping leg grab drive takedown. It's very jiu-jitsu style as opposed, to that pure wrestling. And I think Dan Hooker sees it coming all day long and maybe even times a knee and sleeps Puelles with it. I'll go Dan Hooker by knockout. Around minus 145 value for Dan Hooker. Close money though. Plus 125 on the opposite side, Puelles. The under, I don't feel it. Hooker, KO, plus 250, but I think Hooker's a quality money line attack. I really think he can shine in this spot, and I would consider him a bit of a value bet. Yeah, I'm picking him to win with a fair amount of confidence here. I think he's going to beat Claudio Puelles and avoid the potential grappling exchanges where Puelles will shine. Next fight, Frankie the Answer Edgar versus Chris El Guapo Gutierrez. Listen, I like Chris Gutierrez. I just don't love that he stole Bas Rutten's nickname. I'm picking Chris Gutierrez to win. We'll pull up the scales. I've been picking Chris all week, and I've been trying to sell myself on a little dog attack of Frankie. But, dude, Gutierrez looks like a fucking G on the scale. I can't describe it. But, look at Frankie for a second. Does he not look 41? You see what I'm saying? He looks a little older. I'm concerned about the chin. I think a high kick KO is pretty possible here. You can attack that Frankie dog line lightly. I've talked about it throughout the week. It's maybe not a bad idea, but fuck, as I see the scales, man, I just don't like what I'm seeing from Frankie. I think Gutierrez is going to beat him up, man. I'm going to go Gutierrez to win, and I'm thinking he might get the TKO, man. Around minus 220, Gutierrez. Frankie about plus 200. Yeah, I don't like the over-unders. Gutierrez by knockout, plus 180, plus 225. If Edgar is to win, it's probably decision. He's about plus 340 for it. Gutierrez knockout. That, I think, is what we're going to end up seeing. And those calf kicks are going to be off the chain. And I don't think Frankie's going to be able to catch one of those and take Gutierrez down. I'm not saying it's impossible, though, for Frankie to land takedowns. But damn, 41, 135 pounds. 10-year age difference. I think Chris Gutierrez, unfortunately, is going to really shine in this fight, especially seeing Frankie on the scale, man. I don't know. I just didn't love what I saw. Looks a little weathered. Looks 41. Gutierrez for the victory. Knockout. Next fight. Holy shit, it's a banger. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler in what I expect to potentially be fight of the year. I'm going to be picking Dustin Poirier. I have been picking him throughout the week, but let's pull up the fucking scales. Michael Chandler looks jacked and shredded. This is the best Michael Chandler maybe we've ever seen. Dustin Poirier on the opposite side of him. He comes in real good shape, too. I mean, he's never like that physical specimen type physique of a Michael Chandler, but Poirier's a good southpaw. He's got fast boxing combinations, really good jiu-jitsu. Chandler's super explosive with the one-punch knockout power, but Dustin Poirier lands multiple shots. I think he hurts Michael Chandler and knocks him out here. I'm kind of thinking third round KO. I think Dustin Poirier is going to finish off Michael Chandler, and he might be next in line for the belt, too. Odds are kind of wide for Dustin Poirier. Minus 220 range for Poirier. Michael Chandler about plus 200 is the dog. Michael Chandler's got that real power. He's a one-shot guy, though, whereas I see Dustin Poirier landing multi-shot combos. Poirier to win, KO, TKO, sitting at plus 160. Listen, I like the Poirier money line. I know it's a little bit wide. I know it's over 2-1. I've been talking about it as a, lock of the week, and I'm riding with it. I think Dustin Poirier shines against Michael Chandler, knocking him out and holding that, top contender spot. And maybe they do give him Makhachev next. I'm interested to see what they do. Dustin Poirier shining in the featured bout with Michael Chandler. I'll tell you this, guaranteed fireworks, and it's probably fight of the night. Let's get to the co-main event. Carla Esparza versus Weili Zhang. Listen, I think Weili is going to kill her here. I think she's going to beat her up bad on the feet. I think that Weili stops the takedowns. Like Carla Esparza, I know people talk, Rose Namajunas took Weili down. Yeah, but Rose is bringing a serious striking threat. There's no stand-up threat to Weili with Carla Esparza. Weili's extremely explosive. She has real knockout power, incredible striking, and she can wrestle too. I think Weili Zhang TKOs her in the second or third round, beating her up here. She's been the pick all week. She looked jacked and ready to go on the scales. She got the fanfare too, man. The crowd's cheering for her, which you got to love for Weili. And then there's Carla Esparza, who's getting booed bad at the press conference. Even when she said, we're going to keep the belt in the USA, fucking all in New York, so they're cheering for Team China. And I think the belt's going to China with Weili getting the win. She's training with Henry Cejudo. She's got this one, man. And I think Weili is ready for the top now more than ever. I don't know what the hell these odds are for Tapology. Those are flip-flopped. It's actually the complete opposite way. They just fucked up on that. Just something to note. The odds for this fight, actually, minus 310, best value for Weili. Esparza upwards of plus 325. Esparza is a huge underdog for good reason. I don't think she has any finishing threat. The only way she wins this fight is a grind-heavy wrestling game, which I just don't see being effective against Weili. KO TKO for Weili, which is the official pick method of victory, plus 125 for it. I think Weili knocks her out. I think she gets her belt back. And Amanda Lemos, I think, is probably next in line. Love this fight. I cannot wait to see it. Weili, and once again, champion of the world. Let's get to the main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are looking to throw down on these fights, run over to MyBookie. Use my promo code EXPERTS. You get your first time playback bonus as well. And it really helps your boy out on the channel. So much love to you guys for that. Let's talk this fight. Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira. All week, I have been picking Israel Adesanya to beat Alex Pereira. And I really am feeling that decision side. Both guys looked really solid on the scale. Note that Pereira had to bring the box up. There is Israel Adesanya ready to go. Normal physique Adesanya. He's looking to get some vengeance. He wants revenge against Alex Pereira, the man who beat him in kickboxing not once but twice and brutally knocked him out the second time. He's the boogeyman for Izzy. And I will say, this fucking stare downs have been intense. And Pereira's the scariest fighter maybe alive. Look at the cold-blooded killer look in his eyes. Let's see if we get a normal one. Yeah, there he is. He's lean, ready to go. He had the box up. Listen, Pereira's got the one-shot power to end anybody in the middleweight division. Ultimately, I think Adesanya will be moving throughout the night, touching him up from range, and I think he wins a clean, unanimous decision over Alex Pereira, avoiding the best punch that Pereira has, which is that lead hook. And Pereira's a good-sized dog. He's upwards of plus 185. Israel Adesanya around that minus 205 range. I am going to be picking Israel Adesanya to win. I understand kind of the side of, listen, let's just sit back and enjoy this main event. It is, 2-1 odds, a little bit. I mean, it's not wide for Adesanya. He's 23-1. He's an incredible MMA fighter. But it is the man that beat him twice in kickboxing. And, of course, that's got to do something to the mental state. Now, looking at props, if you went Adesanya to win by decision, it's plus 125. Pereira by KO upwards of plus 275. I like Adesanya to win. If you're going to bet this one, maybe you just go money line Adesanya. Maybe you hedge it with an Alex Pereira KO prop. Ultimately, it's a fucking fight, and I can't wait to see it because this is, the revenge tour now for Adesanya. He beats Pereira. He's cleaned out the middleweight division, essentially, and I wouldn't be shocked if he fights the winner of Yuri Prochazka Glover Teixeira, especially if it's Yuri Prochazka, because that could be a dream striking matchup at light heavyweight. I'd be very curious to see it, and I know Adesanya wants another go for 2 division gold. Adesanya, the pick for the win. He beats the boogeyman. He beats the man that ended him once before. Revenge tour, Israel Adesanya. I say he gets it done. He does beat him on the cards, though, in a very technical kickboxing display. Even if you look at some of their first fights, more shots are landed by Adesanya. Pereira lands one hard one. In the cage, Adesanya's going to be very comfortable with the movement. He's got a lot of space to do so. I think he shines. Adesanya to win a decision in the main event. Before I send you guys off, it is time for the parlays. Let's talk about a few of them. Actually, let's see. They have it, finally. Best Fight Odds has finally put UFC 281 odds up. Listen, this is the parlay time brought to you by MyBookie. If you're looking to place one, go run over to MyBookie and use my promo code EXPERTS. Let's talk about a parlay. I've concocted several throughout the week. This is going to be the first live action parlay. I'm going to call this one safety first to start it out here, man. I do think Dom Reyes shines, and I also really feel like Dustin Poirier is going to shine, but I don't know if they have. Do they not have Dustin Poirier? Are you kidding me? They don't have Dustin Poirier on here. Wow, they don't have Dustin. This is what Best Fight Odds does to me, guys. There it is. Okay, we got it. We got it here. We found it. Plus 116, Dom Reyes, Dustin Poirier, safer side parlay that I really do believe you could cash on. Add in the Zhang Weili side, plus 183 if you're looking for that. I think that could be a great idea and definitely could be something that comes through. Now, if you want to add some more spice to the mix, you're like, listen, I want as many confident picks as you can give me. Carlos Ulberg, value-wise, I think it's a good play. Brings you to that plus 400 range, and I think there's a pretty good shot that he does win. Listen, I've been talking about Frankie as a dog. I didn't like how he looked in the scales. I'll add Gutierrez into this parlay too. Plus 618 for this one. Now we're getting into heavy territory. Andre Petroski, plus 986. And if you wanted to go bananas and you're like, listen, I'm throwing it all out there, I want to go nuts, you add Azaitar. I think Azaitar actually could be added in earlier. On this week's Best of MMA Bets, I talked about some parlays and we went deep with them. So if you want to look back on the channel and watch that video just at the end, the parlay segment, we got a lot of them. This is a Hail Mary. I think all these fighters are usable here, and I think you can get great value for each and every damn one of them. I'm just trying to make the fucking lottery ticket parlay of the week right now, and if you added in Molly Meatballs, you got something that maybe can get you, a quarter of the year salary if you threw like, maybe $100 down on it, plus 7,500. I guess a little less than quarter of a year, but maybe you threw a few extra $100 down, you'd be cashing big. Risky play though. Risky play. For safety, 2 to 3 fighters max is always going to be your best way to go. We're getting into just, Hail Mary territory. Unfortunately, with fucking best fight odds, I got to go all the way down to remove these guys because they got Dustin Poirier for some reason sitting down here. I don't understand. I don't understand what they're doing. Weili, Dustin Poirier, and Ottman Azaitar is going to be also an extremely confident parlay because I just want to give you guys ones on the safer side. Plus 220 for that one. Stay on your cautious side. Bet these fights intelligently. 2-3 fighters max. And then if you go anything beyond that for a parlay, you are playing the lottery. Place your fucking bets. Throw down with your tickets. Much love, my people. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. I think UFC 281 is going to more than deliver. I cannot wait for this one. I will be live for the entire card on the channel, so make sure you tune into the Fight Companion tomorrow. Smash the hell out of the like button, guys. If you're new, subscribe. Much love, my people. Let me know what you think of the picks in the comments. Definitely let me know some of your bets, too. Anything change after you saw the fighters on the scales? If you don't have anything to say, though, in the comments, as always, drop a W in the chat and make sure to share the video. Help your boy out. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, and fight day for UFC 281 is also your boy's birthday. So show me some love. Tune into the Fight Companion, and let's have a blast on my birthday together. Much love, guys. Thank you all so much. Peace, and I will see you all in the next one.